You're making your way through that job application. You're doing really well until you hit the dreaded salary question. What do? You don't want to go too low and lowball yourself, but you don't want to go too high and then find out you've priced yourself out. So what do? Hi, I'm Shelley Piedmont, a former recruiter turned career coach, and I want you to thrive and not just survive your job. If you've ever stared at that salary question and go, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do, this is the video for you. Because today what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through how to strategically answer that question based on different scenarios that you might come across. That way you can fill out that information with confidence. One thing to know is that different organizations may have different requirements for this field. And that is because most applicant tracking systems do allow you to customize it. So you can customize the questions you ask, and you can customize how the fields need to be filled out. That is why sometimes you will get a text box and you can put anything you want in there. Sometimes it's going to ask for just a number. You can be asked for an hourly rate, a salary. You can be asked for total compensation. The sky's the limit. So you should be prepared to understand the different types of fields that you might be experiencing, and then you'll have a strategy for how to address them. When we talk about different strategies, the golden rule is that whatever you do, your goal is to get you to the next round. So some sort of conversation with that organization. That is all you should be focused on. This is not about figuring out, what's my ideal salary so I can get that with this job. No, it is only, like everything involved in this step in the process, the application and the resume, it's to get you so you can talk to a person. Remember that. So the first strategy is always do your market research first before you even start the application. This is really important because the market research will tell you what the range should be for someone with your experience, your knowledge, your skills, and in the geography where you live. This is key information because it will help you to decide what the market range should be for someone who has what you have and is applying for this job. This will be important for how you want to complete that field about salary. So make sure you go to Glassdoor, PayScale, salary.com, Indeed. Gather all the information for this type of role. Know what the low side should be and what the high side should be, because that will be important information. So the second strategy you want to employ is, if this is an optional field, then you want to skip it. Don't put anything in if it is not required. Now, I will tell you that there's not that many organizations who are going to make this optional because they usually need this information to decide if you are qualified for the role. But if for some reason you see that it is not required, don't answer it, move on. The next strategy you could apply is if you get a text box, so you can put anything in that field. And this is a good time to put something like negotiable or flexible or competitive based on the role requirements. This way, you are not putting any information about what you're looking for, and you're waiting to have that discussion if you move forward. Now, I will tell you that for most recruiters, that if you are well qualified for the role, but you don't put anything in that field, then that may be an opportunity for them to come back to you to ask about that. But if they do, then you know that they're interested. Now, it could be that if they get many well-qualified people and those people are putting in salary requirements and you are not, then that might work against you. But for the most part, if you are vague about it and you can push that conversation to a later date, that will be important. The next strategy applies if you are given an option to put in a range. So if that is the case, then your market data will be really important, because then you'll have an idea of what that range should be for someone with your experience. So you want to pick a range that's not too broad. It may be 10,000 or 15,000 from the bottom end to the top end. But what is very important is that you be very specific about what you would take as your bottom end. The reason is many recruiters, many organizations will key in on that number. They're thinking, oh, we can get that person for that number. And they very well may offer you that number. So you have to be very careful that when you put a minimum, that you would actually be comfortable with that minimum. Don't put a minimum down there in that range if you would be very disappointed to get that number, because very likely an organization will look at that lower number and wonder how cheaply they can get you. Another strategy you can use when they actually show what the range is to then be able to understand where you fit in that range based on the market data. Now, some organizations will voluntarily put the range in. Some are required to do so because it is a law in their locality. When you have done your market research, you should know where you should be in that range. And you can reference that especially you have a text box there, and you can say your range is such and such based on my market research. The range for someone with my experience should be whatever it is. And you can put that on there. If you can't put in any text, then you can just put in the range that you think is appropriate based on your research. The next strategy we're going to talk about is when you only are allowed to put in a single number. Sometimes organizations just want to know, okay, you're going to take a job at this, and they won't let you put in anything like a range or even any text around it. So this is the least favorite for job seekers, but if you come across this, here's a strategy to think about. You know what you should be making in the market based on your research. So you have a range. And we've already talked about what is that minimum that you would be okay with. So what we can do is then look at that minimum number, and then I would increase it a little bit because they haven't given you much flexibility here. So I would, a few thousand higher than that, so that if they have an issue and they want to negotiate down a little bit, you still have some room. That would be my suggestion when you're stuck with just providing one number. So let's talk about 3 things you don't want to do when it comes to this question in an application. Okay, the first thing is don't put in all zeros or all nines. Now, I know some people advise this, but let me tell you from a former recruiter perspective, you look like you're gaming it. And that irritates recruiters. They may have even set up the system so that if it sees all zeros or sees all nines, it's automatically going to reject you. So don't do that. The second thing is try to avoid, if possible, answering questions about your current salary or the salary you most recently had. In some locations, that is against the law for them to ask, but in others, they still allow it, and people do ask. The reason it is not appropriate is because your value should be for the position that they have open and what the market says. It should have nothing to do with what you most recently made. You could be a career changer, and it's a different total job that you did before. Or maybe you want to go from managing staff to be an independent contributor. Well, that's a totally different job, different responsibilities. So, yeah, the salary wouldn't make any difference. Or it could be you were woefully underpaid in your last job. You know that that was the situation, and you want to be paid your value. So you do not want what they're going to offer to be pegged to what you previously made, because that just exacerbates the issue. So try to avoid that if possible. And then the last thing is, don't just come up with a number and put that in. That's silly. We've talked about in this video doing your research. Always do the research before you answer that question. That way, you don't have to worry about pricing yourself out or lowballing yourself. So if you haven't done the research, you get to this question, stop, go and do the research, and then come back so you can make an educated guess of what they're looking for and what your value is in the marketplace. Now that you have this information, I don't want you to be stressed out when you see that question on an application. You know it's coming, but now you have a strategy for how to complete that box so that you can give them the information that they need to know you are qualified and can move forward in the process.